Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money, with your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 641 of Screw the Commute podcast. I'm here with Brian Stacy from Tricon Fitness, and he is kicking off Vetpreneur Month here at Screw the Commute. Every September, we honor our veteran entrepreneurs, and we're glad to have Brian kick this off. And I'm going to introduce him to you in a minute, and I will tell you, this guy does not pull any punches. He puts it right in your face. If you want to be fit, this guy will pound you into it. Now, we are working on our second round of funding for our program to help persons with disabilities get scholarships. So check that out at screwthecommute.com/disability, and you can help with our GoFundMe campaign. You can't, these people are inspirational. I'll tell you, two of the people in the program are blind, and they are doing better videos than I do. Right? So help them out. We want to get them either hired in a great job that they can work from home, or start their own business from home, or both. So help us out with that. All right, make sure you pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Just one of the tips in this book, folks. One, we actually estimated a couple of years ago has saved me 7.5 million keystrokes. See, when you're in the business I'm at, you get all kinds of same questions over and over and over again, and I don't want to spend time copying and pasting and typing when I could be working with customers and prospects, one-on-one or face-to-face. So this will just save you enormous amounts of time. So screwthecommute.com/automate free, and then pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP. You can put us on your cell phone and tablet and take us with you on the road. All right, let's get to the main event. Coach Brian runs Tricon Fitness, and that's an online strength and nutrition coaching for men. And ladies, you want to listen to this too, because I've been watching this guy for a while, and if your man in your relationship, drops dead on you, you're screwed, basically. All right, so you want to get the whole family involved in this if you can. But anyway, he specifically goes after men. And he's got the following certifications, which could take the whole podcast for all of them, through the International Sports Sciences Association. He's got certificates as a personal trainer, nutrition coach, sports nutrition coach, tactical fitness trainer, and online fitness coach. And I recently got this MaceFit thing, and I'm not exactly sure if it means what it says, but I guess you beat people with clubs or something. We'll find out what that exactly is. And on a more serious note, he lost his wife in April, and he understands what it means to battle grief. Brian, are you ready to screw the commute? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. I like to screw that commute. That's why I became an online coach.
Exactly. And I think you're moving towards maybe having a mobile. Now, mobile is not the same as commute. Commute is going back and forth the same old crap every day. Mobile is a lifestyle. I mean, I've got people that are, they spend 3 months in every country, and then they move somewhere else, and they're still doing crazy, great business. So I don't know if you're going to drive your fitness van to Italy or anything. Anyway, take a boat. All right. So tell us what you're up to with this fitness. I've seen some of your videos, and you don't pull any punches, man.
Yeah. No, I know. I've been told recently, hey, you got to be a little nicer. And I'm talking to men, right?
Right.
I thought I was talking to men. And I don't pull no punches in some of the things that I say online. But when I coach, it's definitely more of an encouraging type coaching method. I'm not in your face and stuff like that as far as, just yelling and screaming at you. But if somebody's like, because I use an app and I can see when people are logging into their workouts and stuff like that. And if they're not logging in, I'm on the phone. Hey, what's going on? Where are you at? Why are you not working out? You know,
Yeah.
you invested into yourself. This, you know, the that's what I always tell people. Look, the transaction that happens here, this is not this this is for you.
You and your family.
Yeah, yeah. It's not about. I know people always. Well, if you don't do it for you, don't do it at all. No, if you're a dad, you better do it for your
Yeah.
family.
The whole
You,
family.
you better do it for everybody, because ultimately, if you're doing it for yourself, you can talk yourself out of
There you go. So, but I hope, Brian, that you're able to define what a man is. Apparently, all these man and women things are getting lost in the shuffle somehow. I don't
it.
know.
Yes, I've had a situation come up like that. I did have an individual come to me, and through the questions that I asked, this person couldn't answer those questions like a
Typical.
born male
Yeah.
would know. And I finally was like, "Were you born a male?" And this person said, "No, I was not." And I said, I'm sorry, I can't train you. I don't know the science behind what's going on in your body right now. Your body wants to produce estrogen. You're telling it to produce testosterone. It's all confused.
And
I
so am
can't
I.
train
Yeah. So, yeah, that's, well, yeah, I mean, it's, you're going to run into more and more of that nowadays, but yeah, I pretty much have a pretty good, you know, after 67 years on earth, I kind of got a feeling for what a man is and what a woman is.
you. Yeah.
But I do tell you, I mean, I'm a big guy. I went to college on a football scholarship back, oh geez, when they had the leather helmets and no face mask.
Yeah.
So when people ask me, well, how much weight do I want to lose? I say, I just want to get down to a B cup. And then, but, but, so when, this is an online thing, so you don't do anything in person?
Um, in the local area, I will do some.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will do some when I get over to San Antonio for a little bit. But
Where are you at now?
right now I'm in Tampa, Florida,
Tampa.
or
Okay.
north of Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be leaving here in the next couple of weeks. So I will be in San Antonio by in a little bit.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. I know you lost your wife recently, and you're living in the home that where she had her sickness. And I don't know how deep we want to go into that, but you had to battle the grief of going through and watching this. And you know, a lot of people will use the simplest of excuses to blow their fitness. This is a pretty serious one. How did you get through it?
Man, that is that's a question. So one of the things that I was faced with, so we went to Mexico. We went and got her treated in Mexico. And if anybody ever deals with cancer, Oasis of Hope is an amazing cancer hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They treat the whole person. They don't just treat the symptoms. And but while I was there, I was faced with my own because you have to come. Somebody has to go with the
Right.
patient to be the caretaker, because they don't have the nursing staff to be the caretaker. So you have to be the caretaker for your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized at the beginning of this that I needed to keep my fitness up so that I could take care of her. And
Which is what you preach to everybody
right,
else, right?
exactly, because you don't know. Like I did have some college people when I got back, and they say, "Are you still going to stand on this hill about keeping yourself, healthy? Because look, your wife was healthy, and look what happened to her." And I'm like, "Yeah, she was healthy, and that's why she got 3 more years. If you get it,
Mm-hmm.
if you start battling cancer, you're going to be dead tomorrow." So there's some there's some respects of having a good immune system. And so I did a talk. I have it on my YouTube channel, Tricon Fitness. I did a talk of fitness and cancer, and I did specifically talk to the caretakers about taking care of your health. And because you got somebody else you got to think about there. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
And
other
the
thing
shame is don't wait till somebody's dying of cancer to get on this project. How about that?
right. I mean, it's well, ultimately I train men, and one of the things that I always say is your kids are going to hey, I know that society's trying to downplay the role of father, and they make I was growing up and it was Leave It to Beaver, and they always went
Right.
to their dad, and it was Father Knows Best and stuff like that. And some of those were reruns when by the time I was a teenager, but there was still and Married with Children was coming out. So there was the start of the buffoon, the,
Yeah.
the overweight buffoon who doesn't know anything, and the end of the dad who knew, like he had all the answers. And these men were always in shape. They didn't look overweight if you go back and look at these shows. And that was the image. And dad, I mean, we get our last names from our fathers. We look to dad as we're growing up. Dad, look. You don't really hear too many kids saying, Mom, look. No, it's Dad, look, because we're trying to get validation from dad, because he's the one who I got my name from. He's the one who's going to tell me if I'm doing this right, especially for young males. And 93% of males will follow what their dad did. So,
I'm doing it right now. You're basically sitting here talking to him. Tell you the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my dad he was a pretty physically fit guy growing up. I always remembered him going to the gym and stuff like that. I did not get into health until later on in life. I did what the Army made me do, but other than that, I smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I was extremely unhealthy.
Hmm.
And then I quit smoking at 30, and I got my first personal training certification in 31, and I did not stop from that. From then on, it was just straight up fitness and getting myself healthy. So I did go back to doing what I saw my father do. So
it's not too late for people.
no, it's never too late. There's all kinds of stories. I started training a woman who was a type 2 diabetic back when I did train women. She was a type 2 diabetic at the age of 12.
Wow.
And she didn't start she didn't start training until she was in her 60s. And after 2 years of training her, she became a trainer herself.
Wow. Yeah.
And so anybody can do it. But talking about the grief, I know I got to a point where in this, that after my wife passed, where I had to battle to care again. And and I was literally just shut down for a couple weeks after I got back from Mexico here to the house, because I walked into this house and it was like I always expected to just come back, be walking back in this house with her, and I wasn't. And now I'm faced with all these decisions of her celebration of life, and what do I do with all this stuff, just stuff. And I was just shut down. And
so when you say shut down, you just quit working out, you just vegging?
Couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything.
And that's going to happen. And, so people listening out there, yeah, that kind of super thing can put a pause in what Brian is all about, but doesn't mean you just give up, quit forever. How'd you get back? How'd you get out of that funk?
Oh man, it was because another thing that happened was my stepdaughter was taken away from me by her biological father.
Yikes.
And so I went from...
Yeah, but you could probably beat him up. Don't worry about
it. Yeah, that would just put me in jail, and then I wouldn't be able to see her at all.
Well, they do work out quite a bit in jail. So.
Yeah. So there's a story in the Bible, in the Old Testament, of King David, and it's literally right before he becomes king. Now he's already been anointed king and all this, but Saul at the time was still the king, and he refused to kill Saul, and that's a whole nother story. But so they went out, and him and his men were gone, and while they were gone, another group of people came in and took everything, like just destroyed their city, took all their women and their children, took all their belongings and everything. So these men come back from battle, and they get there, and all all their women are gone, all their stuff are gone, all their children are gone, and they're distraught. And it says that David cried until he could cry no more.
Mm.
And it was just the intense anguish that he was in because his men were ready to kill him. He just lost everything and he did not know what to do. And it says he cried until he could cry no more. Then he encouraged himself. And I was like, huh. And it says he encouraged himself in the Lord. And so I was like, I got to pick myself up. Nobody else is going to do this.
Very powerful. If any of those guys are still around, I'd like to get their names. So because there's some women in my life that I wouldn't mind getting rid of. So, I don't want to do it myself. So you bootstrapped out of this then, huh?
Yeah, I just had to force myself. And so one of the things I did, I said, okay, what can I do? I looked around and I said, what can I do? What can I do to get myself back up and moving again? And I said, I'm going to start getting up again at 4 a.m. I'm going to make my bed. And that's all I planned to do.
That's an Army thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is a military thing to make your bed and to have that accomplished. And so all I did at first was just to get up and make my bed and do my reading. And I was like, okay, what's the next step? I need to start working out. And so that was the next step. Is I sat down, I came up with a workout plan, and so I would get up, make my bed, read, work out. And it was through that, and then I wasn't eating really well. I was doing a lot of fast food, just doing a lot of stuff that was easy, and I was like, I got to stop all this. I noticed, as I start, because I know people think that fitness and nutrition is it's something I'll do if I have the time. But one of the things that I say, if you don't have the time, you won't have the time.
You have time to be sick though, won't you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, if you don't have the time now, you won't have the time later because it'll be too late.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't have the time, you won't have the time. And it's all about doing those things that, and I'm not saying be crazy with it. It's one of the things that I harp on is I'm not talking trying to be a fitness competitor. I mean, if you want to do that, we can do that. But I'm just talking about working out for your life, not for anything else, but to just have longevity that you can see your kids grow up. You can see even your grandkids. I mean,
well, you almost lost me at make the bed. Now, if you have any of your clients that you want that need more beds to make, send them to my house. So look, I've heard you say you don't care about your family if you're fat, and I heard you say something about everybody's saying dad bods. Well, they're really bad, right? So tell us about what's going on with all this fat around your midsection.
Oh man, I'm rolling my head, not just my eyes. I don't even understand it now that the dad bod is being celebrated and looked at as something that this is attractive. There's nothing attractive about diabetes and coronary heart disease and all these things that diabetes is sugar and alcohol do the same thing to the body. It's non-alcoholic liver disease and alcohol-induced liver disease. And it all comes from sugar because they're one molecule from being the same. So what does so you have adipose tissue and then you have adipose fat, and I won't get into all the science, but what it does is that fat that's on the belly, it releases estrogen, and it produces estrogen, and it starts to pump estrogen in the system. And so here's a good example. If you start having an increase of estrogen, right, you got to think, why do women have these amazing mood changes and stuff during that time of month because their estrogen skyrockets. And so if one of the things that can happen is you'll find yourself becoming more moody, more depressed. You'll feel angry. All these things will start to happen, and you won't understand why. Your buddies will say things, and you'll be like, dude, why'd you say that? And it's not even something that you would have got angry about before. You know, your job will be frustrating. All these things that you found enjoyment in before will start to not be enjoyable. And people will say, well, I'm not getting any of those. I'm like, and it's like, okay, fine. There's one of these, you're either lying to yourself or you're not seeing it in those areas. But there's all kinds of things that'll happen when that stuff. Plus, if it's starting to show on the outside, guess how much that means your body has already packed fat around your intestines, around your liver, around your stomach. All these other organs are now being squeezed by this fat that's now having to show on the outside because your body has no other place to put it.
Damn, Brian, you're making me hungry. So, so what? Do you get into nutrition at all? Don't you have you got a nutrition certificate, right? Or a nutritional coach. So in general, what should people do? There's so many, they're bombarded with keto and paleo and carnivore and everything else on the sun. What do you think about it?
Well, the one that I like the most is paleo, because paleo, for lack of a better word, it just means eating on the outskirts of the grocery store. And what that means is the not going into the middle aisles. That's where all the box stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
It's staying on the outskirts because that's where all the fresh stuff is. That's the freezers and the coolers and all that stuff. And so if you stay on the outskirts of the grocery store, generally you can eat pretty well. And it's just having don't cut out carbs. I'm not a fan of cutting out carbs. I am a fan of changing carbs. This is a carb burning machine, and we need carbohydrates. It's the big commodity for our body to create energy. Protein, it's funny because you find that the one thing that's not cut out of any nutrition plan, you can cut out fat, you can cut out carbs, but nobody will cut out protein because it's the building block of muscle. But it's not even an energy source. It's a tissue building source. And so you need it for everything. Grow more hair, skin to replenish itself, to heal wounds, to heal up or your organs on the inside. All amino acids or protein are used for that. It's not just about building muscle. It's the one that can kill you quicker than the other two.
Well, I love the thing about the outside of the grocery store, because Harris Teeter is a big in our area up here, and the bakery is on the outside. So,
yeah,
I guess there's exceptions to that rule.
Skip the bakery. Bakery is the one area. Yeah, bread is. That's one of the
donuts.
Big things.
They have a whole section on fresh donuts.
No way.
Yeah, I heard donuts are some of the worst things ever invented from a fitness standpoint.
Bread itself, you're talking about stuff that is a carb that has sugar in it. It's just a double whammy. It's not even and that's what makes it. So here's the thing. Doing stuff that's bad is fun, right? So I don't say that it's not fun and it doesn't taste good and it doesn't feel good. It does all that. That's the point of it.
That's the problem in it.
It's to make you addicted to it. Sugar does the same thing to the brain that cocaine and porn does. I got a little hitting there, but it shuts down your prefrontal cortex, where you make all your good decisions, and it turns on your limbic system, which is basically your instincts. It's everything you learned up to 6 years old, and And that's how you start to react. And so people call this angry. No, I call it toddlerism.
Toddlerism.
You become a 5-year-old.
That's the
really
first time that word's ever been said on this podcast. Toddlerism. Did you make that up?
Yes, I did. And it's basically what happens to people is they become a toddler because they need to curb that addiction, and it's that sugar rush.
All right, so what I'm taking from this is don't watch porn while eating donuts and snorting cocaine. That's not really good for you. Is that a fair recap?
Oh man, that would yeah. Ooh, you'd have some major issues there.
So you have challenges and you have programs to help people with this, right?
Yes, I do. I have two different systems.
Tell them about it.
So for my more in-depth coaching, which is I only take on 15 guys for this.
This can be remote though, right?
Yes, it's all remote. Everything I'm talking about is remote.
Is it group or one-on-one or combo or what?
It's a little bit of a combo. So that one you get nutrition coaching. You get everything is taken care of. So shopping lists are built out. Recipes, everything is done, and it's you get that monthly. And then the workout is populated in an app that you're invited to, and then you download it on your phone, and all the videos for the workouts, everything is there on the app. You have to log into the app every workout that you're supposed to be working out. You have to log into the app, and I see you log in. You have instant access to me on the app. So if you got a question, you can hit me on the question. Also, I have a walkie-talkie type app called Vox, and those individuals get added into that, so they can hit me up anytime they need to and say, hey, I'm having a problem here at the grocery store, or I'm having a problem with this workout. Can we jump on a Zoom real quick? Sure, let's do it. And so that one's more in-depth coaching. And
this is all on your website, right?
This is all on my website.
And that's what is it?
Triconfit.com.
Triconfit.com. Okay,
yes.
Great.
Yep, TRICON fit.com.
And what are the challenge things you got going?
So I have another one that's a 42-day challenge, and so that one is 42 days, and we're gonna crush 15 pounds of weight in those 42 days. And if you don't, it's completely free.
Yikes!
It is intense.
15 pounds.
15 pounds.
In 42 days.
In 42 days.
All right. So then what happens after that?
Well, that's dependent on that person. After that, they can end the program, or they can continue on with that program, which is it's a very basic program. So they do get a nutrition plan, but it's kind of like a generalized nutrition plan. And then they get a workout. They don't get the other things like the Vox or the walkie-talkie thing, but they still do have the app, and they can still ask questions. I won't answer back immediately on that one. I will answer within a couple hours.
Yeah, because in case you're watching porn and eating donuts,
Oh yeah, no porn here.
So
no porn here.
So these are all on your website, triconfit.com. And what if they want to ask questions directly of you? Is your contact information there, or what would you like? How should they contact you?
You can go into on triconfit.com, and there's a book a consultation. That's a free consultation.
Oh, okay.
So they can go in there and book a consultation time, and we can get on a call.
Beautiful, beautiful. And see, when you get this mobile thing going, I'm going to let you park in my driveway for free for some free coaching. And I'll make sure there's no donuts in the house, and definitely no cocaine in this house, that's for sure.
So the mobile thing is more of just me. I will be traveling the country in a RV with my dog, and I'll be doing some videos and stuff like that. And if I'm in an area where I have a client, I'll do a special where they can come and train with me. And,
Beautiful,
and
beautiful
we'll do.
lifestyle business. That's great. You have any kids?
I do have quite a few kids, actually.
Good for you. Well, see, that's because I understand that when you're fat, it kills your testosterone, right?
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that belly fat does
Yeah.
is it inhibits the production of testosterone, which inhibits the production of the baby making materials. So, but it
But you
does.
wouldn't suggest. I mean, see, that has like a double whammy. Um, what they call it, like condoms and stuff for keeping from having babies. Number one, you're making less of the baby making materials, and number two, you're so fat and ugly, nobody wants you anyway. So it's definitely a prophylactic.
It is, but it also can start to deteriorate your drive as a man.
Yeah,
And
you got nothing left to look forward to. Put it that way.
right. Well, I mean, there's all kinds of things that testosterone does, and one of the things that I do have guys come to me and they say, yeah, I'm having issues in that area, and I'm like, well, that's whether that thing works or not. You need to go get your heart checked out. That's not really a testosterone issue. That's a heart issue.
Well, I'm going to give up whenever Men's Fitness starts having a bunch of fat guys on there, like Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Oh
Can you
man,
imagine? That's the end of the world right there, Brian.
I don't even understand that one, man. The whole body positivity image. I do tell guys, hey, look, if you're not comfortable with who you are, we're going to have an issue with this. This is not going to work. And that's one thing I'll tell people. If you're not comfortable with you got to get comfortable with you first, not with where you're at.
Exactly.
I mean comfortable with who you are. And there's a difference between being comfortable with who you are and being comfortable with where you're at.
Well, another thing, and you said don't come to you unless you really want to hit it. Don't come
Right.
to me just to put your toe in the water and try something, right? You're
You're
not the right guy.
There's no if you want $10 coaching, go to Planet Fitness. You'll get $10 coaching. I mean, this is not for you're going to make an investment in yourself because here's the thing. I need it to hurt. I need it because there's no value in it.
No, I mean it's cliche, no pain, no gain. Right? So
Right. I mean there's no it's just no value. No, if there's no value, there will be no value. And so I've seen it. I have plenty of friends that are in the coaching world, and some of them that have the lower cost coaching. They're like, man, I have clients that don't show up, all these different things, and I'm like, yeah, look at where there's no investment.
And I saw you hit this really hard. Is if you don't do it for you, do it for your family because you need to be around for them. You need to be there for them, not letting them, suffer with no male figure in the family and all the challenges that'll come along with that. So good for you, man.
Well, dad can't be checked out. I get it. You work all day. You're wanting to come home. You're wanting to chill out, but that's not your family. They're ready to see you. They're ready to talk to you. They're ready for you to come home and be engaged. And how can you be engaged if you don't have those energy levels? And without testosterone, you're not going to have those energy levels. I mean, the military's got this down, and the military, we get up in the mornings because testosterone is at the highest in the morning. And that's why it's the best time to work out. That's why most combat was done in the mornings. Most hunting is done in the mornings. Most field work is done in the mornings. All that stuff. Why? Testosterone is at the highest. And so working out in the morning is the best time to work out and getting that solid workout plan. People tell me, well, I just don't have the time. Well, we all have the same 24 hours. and I see single moms with 3 and 4 kids make the time to go and work out, oh, you can work out.
Yeah, for sure. And it's it's doing a good service for the world and what you're doing. And really, again, we want to thank you for your service. This is part of Vetpreneur Month. And you're doing a lifestyle business. You're doing good in the world. It's just a beautiful thing. So thanks so much, Brian, for taking the time to come on.
Well, I appreciate it. I really appreciate you having me.
All right, everybody, check out triconfit.com. He offers a free consultation, and when he's driving his bus around, if you jump in front of it and make him stop and talk to you, and check out his challenges and his more in-depth programs. He's must be a high-tech guy. He's got the app that he's going to watch you no matter what he's doing, and so what I'm taking overall from this is I'm immediately going and making my bed because I'm late today to get started. So thanks a lot, Brian. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode as part of Vetpreneur Month. We'll have veteran business owners all this month. And you want to check it out. And again, we want to salute them and thank them because we couldn't be doing the things we're doing if it wasn't for the sacrifices they made for us. All right, catch you on the next episode. See you later.